This video will teach you the essentials of APA layout. So by layout, I'm talking about things like paragraphing, spacing, creating the header, inserting page numbers, setting up margins, all of that. So this quick walkthrough will hopefully make it easy for those of you who like to be taught visually how to do something. There is an APA PDF document that's uploaded as an asset for this week's assignment. But if you prefer the video version, this is for you. So let's go ahead and just get started. The first thing we need to do is choose an appropriate font. So Times New Roman is pretty much the standard, so we've got that set up. By the way, I am using the Mac version of Microsoft Word. If you're using the PC version, maybe things are in different places. I'm not sure. If you're using something like Google Docs or Pages, which is Mac's word processing program, or Open Office or anything like that, you might have to hunt around a little bit to find some of these functions, but you should be able to find them. The second thing we're going to do is set the margins. So if we go under the Layout tab, top, bottom, left, right, all need to be set to 1. And you'll see as I make the changes, it's actually happening in real time. And we're going to set that to 1. Okay, so we have our margin set. Next, we're going to work on the header. The header is this sort of top inch of the page. So if we double click on that, we can go into the header, and you'll notice the header and footer tab appears. If we're not in the header, it doesn't appear as an option. So we're going to go into the header and footer tab. We are going to click first on this box here, different first page, because technically the header is a little bit different on page 1 than it is on page 2. So for the page 1 header, we're going to type the words running head colon. Note that we capitalize the first letter of the first word, but not this letter here. And then we're going to put our title. So I'm just going to make up a title, okay? So and it should be in all caps, my paper for English class. Second, we have to insert page numbers. We can do it here using this tab, but sometimes it doesn't really give you an option of where to put it. So I'll often just go to the actual menu and say insert page numbers. We do want it to appear on the first page. Okay, and usually it's set up so it needs to appear in the top right corner. So we'll just click OK. And sometimes the words disappear, but they should come back. If you sometimes have to re-click different first page and then it appears. Okay, there it is. So there's our header. Okay, so next we're going to go to about the middle of the first page. By the way, we're creating the cover page, and we need to type three things. First, the title of our paper, not in all caps, so my paper for English class. Then your name, so Jane, a student. You don't have to include a middle initial. And then the university you're attending, so in this case that's Full Sail University. Okay, while we're here, because this looks terrible, we're going to highlight everything. We're going to change this to double spacing, so let's just get double spacing set up right from the get-go because the entire document needs to be double spaced anyway. In my version of Word, it's this little up and down arrow guy, so we change it from 1.0 to 2.0, and we also center the text. And I'm going to make this smaller just to make sure. Just using just by eyeballing it. Okay, so visually, just make sure that it's kind of in the middle of the page. Is that the middle of the page? I think so. Okay, I'm going to put my cursor after university, and I'm going to keep hitting enter until I get to the very first line of the second page. As soon as I get to the very first line of the second page, I am going to stop. Boom, I'm there. I'm going to retype my title. So, my paper for English class. Notice it's not bolded, it's not italicized, it's not underlined, it's not in a 30 point font, right? One of the beauties of APA is that we're using one consistent font style from the very top of the paper all the way to the end. Okay, so basically you shouldn't be bolding at all or underlining. Sometimes students like to be creative. They want to make the paper look nice or make the paper look what seems attractive to their eyes. But no, APA is very very specific rules, and it's a really. I mean, I think it's sort of elegant, but it is a stripped down, spare, but also very professional looking style system. Okay, while we're here, we need to go into the header for page two, and remember I said that on page one the header looks like this. On page two, three, four, it's going to look pretty much the same, except we're not going to have the words running head. Okay, we're going to have if your paper is very if your title is very long, it should be a shortened form of the title. If it's not very long, if it's only like 3 or 4 words, you can put the entire title. But basically, it should be a short version of your title. So I'm just going to put my paper. Okay, and it should be capitalized. I'm not sure why the page numbers aren't appearing here. Let me see if I can put them up again. Insert page numbers. Show number on the first page. Yes. Is it appearing at the top? Yes. Okay. Um, different first page. This is a little bit annoying. Sometimes you have to go and fix things. Okay, there we go. Everything's back. For some reason, the check next to different first page likes to disappear. But we're set. Okay, we have running head, my paper for English class on one page, and then we have a shortened form of the title and a page number on the second page. Okay, so I'm going to put my cursor after the title because that's where we left off. We hit enter once, okay? Not 2 times, not 10 times, not 15 times, just once. Okay, the document is already double spaced. So we only need to be hitting enter or return once after elements. We need to start at the left again. So I'm going to choose align text left. By hitting tab, we indent, right? Because the first line of a new paragraph is indented, and I can start typing away. Um, you know, here is where I will write my paper. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this because I want to demonstrate some things. Okay, so you're typing along, right? And by the way, it's important to set up double spacing because I've seen people who don't do that and single space, and then what they do is they end up using Microsoft Word like a typewriter. So they'll get near the end of a line, and then they'll hit enter to force it. They'll hit enter twice to force it to look double space, but that just comes up. That just creates problems. You get little green squiggles at the beginning of every first line. Sometimes if autocorrect is on, it will read a lowercase word that begins a new line as being a completely new sentence, so it wants to capitalize it for you. So yeah, set up double spacing before you can begin. But okay, I'm typing along. I'm typing along. When you reach the end of a paragraph, like let's say this is the end of a paragraph, you hit enter once, not 10 times. You tab, and you just keep on going. Because here's the issue: some students love to do this. Like they reach the end of a paragraph and they hit enter once or twice, or they don't indent the line of a paragraph, so everything looks like this. Oops. And sometimes students think that looks nicer, but it doesn't. That's not APA format. So we're indenting paragraphs. Oops. And we're only hitting enter once at the end of a line. By the way, open up a novel sometime. Open up your Harry Potter book or your Twilight book. There are 10 spaces between paragraphs. Okay, this is pretty standard. So please follow the standard. And let's see if I can get to a. Oops, I forgot to hit tab to indent. Thought I did. I'm going to try to keep going to show that as you type, again, the words automatically wrap down to a new line, and they'll just continue on to a new page. Okay, this is taking a while. There, we're on a new page. Okay. Notice a couple things. First, the page number carries over, so page 3, right? As long as you keep typing, the new header keeps going. But let's say you reach the end of your paper. Okay, so we've written up. This is pretty short, but imagine we're on like page 4 or something. If your paper ends here, you just keep hitting enter until you get to the very first line of a new page, okay? As soon as we get there, we stop. So, anytime now. There, boom, new page. We center the word references. Okay, again, it's not bolded, it's not italicized, it's not in a 30-foot font. It doesn't have a colon after it. It's not called works cited. It's not called bibliography. It's just the simple, elegant word references. And this is where I'm actually going to leave things in this video, because when we start talking about research, we'll get into how to create this references page. But this is essentially what you need to be doing for this week's assignment, okay? Which is a draft of your paper. So make sure that you can create a cover page that looks like this. Make sure that you're following these conventions, and you should be fine.